In this video, I want to look a little bit more about the media library and a tweak or two that you might want to include to make it a little bit more manageable. At the moment, you just get a long list of your media items. On mine, I've got 47 items on 3 pages. That is in the list view. The list view is nice because it gives you a file name and the image, and it also gives you information if the file has been uploaded to any particular page and the author who uploaded it and so on. The other view that will show you more thumbnails is the thumbnail view, and you can see you just get lots and lots of images there. It doesn't matter whether you're on the list view or the thumbnail view. You can click on the image to get the details, and you can add in here alternate text if you want to. You can add a title, caption, description. These things might be used by the theme when you insert the image into a web page. Down here on the right, we've got view attachment page. Attachment page is just a page that WordPress has set aside for the media item on its own. And if I bring the URL down, you can see that the URL is actually just the URL of the image on that page. The other thing here, edit more detail. If I open that in a new window just to show you, that will give you the edit media screen where you again can enter alternate text, caption and description. We can do that on this page. The nicer feature here is this edit image button, and that takes you to the attachment detail where you have some options here. One of them, we talked about scaling images and resizing images and cropping images before under image optimization, but you can do some of that here as well. So the original image is 1000. I could scale that down if I wanted to and make it 500 width within the WordPress interface. There we are. And you can also restore the image if you decide that you've made a mistake. Another nice feature is to be able to crop the image. So let's just say we want to crop the image like that. You can add in an aspect ratio here. So if you know that you want a 6:4 image, then you can enter 6:4, and the crop box then will automatically size to 6.4 no matter which handle you pull on. When you're happy with your image, you can confirm the crop by clicking the crop button again. And there we have the image that's been recropped. If I want to scale that image now, I can go back and I can rescale it. You can see it's been rescaled to 765 by 510 just because of the crop that we did. But if I wanted to further rescale that, I could scale that to 500. And it says up there image saved, so that's fine. But what happened to that post that had the original image? You can see here's the original image. Let's view the post. And this original image was 1000. You see the crop isn't there. What I would need to do is I'd need to go in and delete that image and re-add it from the media library. That's the one there. And under here you can see it's 500 by 333. Let's select it to insert it, and you can see now we have the cropped version of that image. Width 500, height 333. Clearly, if you are resizing and scaling images as you upload them before you insert them into posts, then you're not going to have to go through this deletion and reinsertion again. Another thing I'd like to point out though in the media library is that the media library is a little bit of a mess. It's just a long list of media items. There is a plugin that can help you to organize, and there's a free version and there's a paid version. The free version is quite useful, but it is a little bit limited. The plugin is called Filebird, so let's search for that. And this is it, Filebird WordPress Media Library Folders. Let's install and activate and go over to the media library. And as you can see in the media library now, we've got this folders section on the left hand side. And where this is useful is to be able to create folders to hold the images in your media library. If I click on all files, you can see all of my media library files are here. Let's create a folder. I'm going to call it fish to hold my fish images. And I'm going to create another folder to hold my dog images. What else have we got? We've got logo. Okay, we've got a couple of logos. So I've got 3 folders there. The free version limits you to 10, so if you need more than 10, you're going to have to upgrade, unfortunately. Now the idea is that you can drag your images across to these folders. So I should be able to drag those two fish across to the fish folder, and it says there move two files. However, if I now click on the fish folder, there is nothing in there. And the little bug is that if you land on the media library and you immediately try to drag it, it doesn't seem to work. If you click across now to the thumbnail image, then it will work. So let's do a bulk select and select the fish images, and we'll drag them across to the fish. And it seems to be for the first drag across. If we go back to the list view now, and I can drag the logos across, you can see those now have been added. Okay. I'm going to go back to the thumbnail images though for now, and I'm going to the uncategorized ones. This is all files, so this is showing you all the images. Let's just go to the uncategorized ones, so I only see those ones which I haven't added yet. And I'm going to bulk select all of the dog files, and I'll drag those across into the dog folder. And then we still have 4 uncategorized. These are fruit and veg, so let's just add a fruit and veg, and I'm going to bulk select 1, 2, 3, 4, drag them across to the fruit and veg, and you can see the little bug occurring again. Let's go back to the list view, and I'm going to go back again to the thumbnail view because this switching seems to fix things. We need to select bulk select, drag, and then that has now copied them across successfully. So although this version has a few little bugs, I'm sure they're going to get them ironed out. One of the other nice things about this is that you can reorder your folders by dragging and dropping them. And what I could do here is put a folder called animals. Let's just save that. And I'm going to drag that up to the top, and then I'm going to indent dog, fish. Okay, just dog and fish. I'm going to grab the folder dog and fish indent, and then if I click on animals, both dogs and fish are found inside animals, and you see the folder views over on this side, or you can just select them here. So it makes organization. Whoops, we've got a fruit one in there. How did that fruit get into the dog folder? Let's drag that across and see whether it will drag across. Yeah, right, so that's dog. Let's have a look in the fruit. Logos. Okay, just the one logo. If I want to see all the files, I can still see all of the files, and I've got 3 that are uncategorized here. Well, at least according to that I have. There's no matched media files over here. Okay, it's got bugs, so why do I use it? Well, the nice thing about this plugin is it just makes it so much easier to be able to find images when you want to insert one. So let's just go over and add a post. Let's say I want to add a new image to this, and I'm going to go to the media library, and you've got Filebird over here. I know I want to insert one of the fruits. Click on the fruit, and I can just select it and insert it. So it makes organizing, sorting and finding images so much better. In this video, I'd like to look at image galleries, and when you create an image gallery, the starting point is the post that you want to insert the image gallery into. So let's go over to a post and we'll create an image gallery. When you get to the post, you can go to the add block in Gutenberg. Now I'm going to warn you here that Gutenberg currently, at the time of filming this, has a bug and the image galleries don't work properly. This bug has been known about for at least a year, I think, and it still hasn't been fixed. So let's see what happens. If you type in, you can type in gallery, or you could even type in image, and Gutenberg is clever enough to be able to find the gallery block, and then click on the media library button, and we're going to select the images that we want. And you don't need to hold any keys on your keyboard, just go down and select the images that you want and then click create gallery. You can add captions underneath. Mine already have captions, but you can add those captions, and those captions will be added to the gallery. So there's my gallery. We can add more if we want to click on that button there, but let's just click on the update and then go and see what a mess Gutenberg makes of it. And here is the page. As you can see, Gutenberg has actually posted the full-size images, and it is a known problem. So what can you do about it? Well, you could use a plugin, and I'm going to show you a plugin in a moment that will help you with this. But first off, let's just remove the block. I want to show you that it is a Gutenberg error. It's not anything to do with WordPress itself. If I go back and I activate the classic editor, and let's go back to posts, the quite hard post, and I'm going to click on add media, and then up here create gallery, and click my three dogs, got the thumbnails and the captions, insert gallery, and then we have a gallery. Let's update, and we'll go over to the web page, and you can see now the gallery works. You click on an image, you get the blown up image of the dog. Click back. There you go. So in Classic Editor, in the old WordPress it works, in Gutenberg it doesn't. Right, let's go back to the post, and I'm going to click on the gallery and remove it and update, and we'll go into the plugins and deactivate the Classic Editor, so we've got Gutenberg back again. Let's deactivate that. And the plugin that can help, at least until Gutenberg gets its act together and sorts out this bug, if we go to add new, and I'm going to search for Foo Gallery. And it's this one, Foo Gallery Image Gallery WordPress plugin. Let's activate it, and it's asking for permission for something or other, which I'm going to skip, and we're taken to the Welcome to Foo Gallery web page. Over here it tells you roughly how you're going to create galleries. It's very, very easy. Let's just go over to galleries, and you'll see that there aren't any. We can add in a new gallery by clicking this button or the link in the sidebar menu, and I'm going to call this my dogs gallery. Down here we've got gallery items, so let's click on that button and it will open up the media library where we can select the images that we want to include. Click on the add, and you can see again we can add more images there. We can delete these images if we decide we don't want them. We've also got a nice little gallery preview. If I click on that, you'll see what the gallery looks like. Okay, I'm not going to blow those up. Once you click on that, it will open up to full size, but that's what the gallery currently looks like. We've got gallery settings down here, so you can have a play around with those. I'm not going to go through all of those settings. We've got thumbnail sizes if we wanted to change those, and then links to. Do we want them to link to the full size image in a lightbox, the image attachment page, custom URL, or not have them linked? And then we've got this option down here for lightboxes. In order to select one of these options, you have to have this other plugin installed, Foobox Lightbox plugin. So let's install that and activate that plugin. And again, we're going to skip through any of the permissions there. I'm going to close that, and I'm going to have to refresh this page. Let's just publish the gallery for now so we don't lose any changes. And now this page should be refreshed. We should be able to choose the Foobox. Spacing between the images, we can make it smaller. So we can say, let's say 5 pixels. Will this give me a gallery preview? Let's say 25. Yeah, you can see them spreading out up there. Or we could have no pixels, alignment of the images, and so on. That's just in the general gallery settings. You've also got appearance, hover effect. Let's put an eye on there. Option for different captions, look, title, description, and limit caption length, paging. Not sure what that does, to be honest, but you can have a play around with it. And then the advanced options, enable lazy loading. That's a good idea because it helps speed up your pages. I'm not going to do any more playing around with this. I want to show you how to implement it. And there's a couple of ways you can implement it. The first one is by grabbing the shortcode for that gallery and going over to your WordPress post and then just basically pasting that into a block, and Gutenberg will decide it's a shortcode and therefore use it. So if we update this now and preview, we see the gallery. We can move our mouse over. It doesn't use the eye that I selected, but we have the lightbox now, so people can enlarge the image to have a look at the images. Let's go back and I'll show you the other way to implement it, which is probably the best way. Let's remove that block, and I'm going to add a new block, and this block is added by the Foo Gallery plugin. It's called Foo Gallery. So let's add the Foo Gallery and then select the gallery we want. It's the dog one. Let's insert the dog gallery. Let's update and view the page. And there is our gallery. We've got the captions there when we move our mouse over. I just want to go back to edit the gallery and see about that. Okay, the lightbox hasn't saved. No 0 pixels. Let's update that and see whether that saves. Okay, and the other thing I wanted was this eye. So let's select that and update it, and we'll go back and see whether those changes have been saved. Okay, we've now got the eye, which is what I wanted. And then we have the Foo Gallery plugin for the lightbox, which makes your lightbox a little bit more special, perhaps. To point out a couple of other things, I've added some more images in here. If you need to go in and you need to change the order, you can drag and drop the images around. The other thing you can do is if you need to change the alt text or something else, you can click on the little information button top left of the image, and you can get in there and you can add alt text, title, caption, description, and so on. So those are two options. One of the nice things though is this gallery preview, because a lot of the gallery settings you will see appear here when you change the gallery preview. So response image gallery is the default. Let's change that to image viewer, and you can see what the difference that makes. And the image viewer gives you a single image which you can then scroll through both ways, and it has a number there, so that's nice. Let me just move this so you can see it. We have a justified gallery which lays the thumbnails out slightly differently, so you can see they're not all the same size, but they fit beautifully in the available space. We have masonry image gallery, which is very similar. It just lays them out differently. And simple portfolio, this is just columns of images, no special formatting. And single thumbnail gallery. And you can also go through some of the appearance menu items as well with the gallery preview, so you can see what options you've got for customizing. So no border, we could have large rounded images there. We could put in a drop shadow, large drop shadow, no drop shadow, all the time seeing what the effect is on the preview of our image. You can define the loading icon. This is the animated icon that can be shown while the thumbnails are loading in your gallery, and you can also select no loaded effect or faded in effect. The hover we saw very briefly. The caption is available on hover, but we could have the caption always visible if we wanted. You can see that. I actually prefer it the way it was, that it was on hover. But the point is that you can customize it with the preview screen on, and you can see what those customizations are going to look like. So overall, it's a great replacement for the Gutenberg gallery, which isn't working at the moment, but you might decide that you prefer it anyway because it does have some really nice features, and the galleries it produces do, in my opinion, look nicer than the ones that WordPress will create by default, whether you're creating it with the classic editor or you're creating it with a future version of Gutenberg that actually works properly.